Welcome to How to Apply for a TSET Healthy Incentive Grant. I'm Elliot, and we'll walk you through applying for a TSET Healthy Incentive Grant during this short video. Let's get started. Before you begin the application process, please review the TSET Healthy Incentive Grant for School Districts Resource Guide on TSET's website to ensure that you have compiled all the required documentation to complete the application. Once you are ready to apply, select Funding Portal on the menu at the top of the TSET homepage, and it will redirect you to the login page. If you haven't already created an account in the Funding Portal, select Not a Member and complete the registration. If assistance is needed, click on the How to Register instructional video link below the registration box. If you already have an account, simply log in to proceed with applying. Since I already have an account, I'm just going to log in. After logging in, click on Begin an Application. Select the organization that you are applying on behalf of and click Next. Now, you will be required to answer a few questions about your organization. The first question that pops up asks about your school district's Certification of Non-Acceptance of Tobacco Funds form. You must submit this form in order to move any further in the application process. You can click on the link in green and it will take you directly to the form where you can access and download the document. You will only have to submit this form once and it will stay with the account throughout its lifetime. If you are ready to upload the form now, select Yes, and then you can click on the Upload Files button or drop the form next to it. Once you select your form, please wait for it to be uploaded. After the upload is complete, you will see a green check mark, and now you can click Done. The next question asks if your organization has a business presence in Oklahoma. Select Yes from the drop-down list and click Next to proceed. Next, you are asked about your organization type and sufficient capital. In order to be eligible to apply for the Healthy Incentive Grant for School Districts, you must select PK-12 Public School District or individual PK-12 public school site. Your organization should have sufficient capital to sustain ongoing program services for at least 2 months while awaiting TSET funds. Select Yes from the drop-down list and click Next. If you successfully meet the organizational requirements, you will select the Healthy Incentive Grant for School Districts application and click Next to begin the application. If you do not meet the organizational requirements, you will receive a pop-up notification that states that your organization currently does not meet the base eligibility requirements for applying. Click Finish to acknowledge the pop-up notification. To correct the requirements that were not met, you can click on Begin an Application again, and the organizational requirement that was not met will pop up for correction. If you feel that you have input the correct information and still are not able to apply, please contact TSET for guidance. The new window that opens will have your organization's details at the top and ask the following questions concerning eligibility for the Healthy Incentive Grant for School Districts application process. The first question asks if your organization is willing to adopt a wellness policy and a tobacco-free policy prior to submitting your application. Select Yes from the drop-down list. The next question asks if your organization is an Oklahoma public school district. Select Yes from the drop-down list. The final question asks if the project can begin immediately upon the receipt of a fully executed cooperative agreement. Select Yes from the drop-down list. Click Next. The new window that opens is just letting you know that your application has successfully been created. Click Go to Application to begin the application. The first tab that opens automatically is the Guidelines tab. To view the resource guide, you can visit TSET's website, or you can click on the hyperlink here and it will direct you to the full resource guide. If you are ready to move on to the next section, click on Save and Next at the bottom of the screen. On the Organization Information tab, provide the official school district and fill in the required information about the authorized official. The authorized official is the person who receives the contract document for the grant and whom the organization has designated as being authorized to sign contracts on behalf of the organization. This person will receive all important grant-related information disseminated by TSET. If you are unsure who should be listed as the authorized official for your district, please inquire with your superintendent. Click Save and Next at the bottom of the page to move on to the next section. On this tab, you will enter the applicant contact information. The applicant contact is the person directly responsible for ensuring the grant meets its requirements and agreed-upon results, inclusive of planning, organizing, and directing the completion of the project for the organization serving as the grantee, while ensuring the project is executed on time, on budget, and within the scope of work agreed upon. If you are the authorized official and the applicant, you must re-enter your information. When finished, click Save and Next to move on to the next tab. Next up is the District Information tab. Here you will enter in your school district's information such as the district's enrollment number, mailing address, phone number, and your superintendent's information. If you don't know your school district's enrollment number, you can select the hyperlink in green to be taken to the Oklahoma State Department of Education website to find the number of students enrolled in your school district. After you have entered the required information, you're ready to move on to the Healthy Incentive Grant Criteria Requirements tab by clicking Save and Next. On this tab, there are 5 sections that you are required to either enter text, upload files, or do both to complete this portion. The sections are Promotion of Shape Your Future and/or TSET Healthy Youth Initiative, Promotion of the Oklahoma Tobacco Helpline, District Wellness Committee, School District's 24/7 Tobacco-Free Policy, and the School District's Wellness Policy. Shape Your Future is a community health education intervention that encourages Oklahomans to eat better, move more, and be tobacco-free. Shape Your Future strives to educate parents, teachers, caregivers, and all Oklahomans on how to make the healthy choice the easy choice. The TSET Healthy Youth Initiative helps younger Oklahomans learn how to live healthier lives through reduced tobacco use and improved nutrition, with the goal of creating generational change. For more information about these programs and campaigns, click on the links in green. Free materials for these programs and campaigns can be found on the TSET website. School districts must provide a statement of how they promote the Shape Your Future program or campaigns within the TSET Healthy Youth Initiative, as well as uploading examples in the Upload File section. The Oklahoma Tobacco Helpline offers non-judgmental services to help Oklahomans quit tobacco. Adults 18 and older, including school staff, administrators, and other adults and students' lives, can enroll and may also receive free nicotine replacement therapy, patches, gum, or lozenges. More information is available through the green link, and free promotional materials can be found on the TSET website. For youth, My Life, My Quit offers services tailored specifically to help teens quit tobacco or nicotine. Anyone aged 13 or older can enroll with the Oklahoma Tobacco Helpline, but My Life, My Quit provides specialized support designed for young people. A key difference between the two programs is that nicotine replacement therapy is available only to participants 18 and older through the Oklahoma Tobacco Helpline. School districts must provide a statement of how they promote the Oklahoma Tobacco Helpline, funded by TSET, as well as uploading examples in the Upload File section. The District Wellness Committee must be comprised of parents, students, representatives of the School Food Authority, physical education teachers, school health professionals, the school board, school administrators, and the general public. School districts must submit documentation of 2 Wellness Committee meetings held within the last 12 months. This documentation must include copies of agendas, minutes, or signed attendance sheets for each meeting and should be uploaded in the Upload File section. The school district's 24/7 tobacco-free policy must be comprehensive and meet 100% of the elements outlined in the sample policy that is found in the Healthy Incentive Grant for School Districts Resource Guide. This policy shows school districts' commitment to a tobacco, smoke, and vape-free campus and facility. It's important to note that utilizing this sample policy is not a guarantee for award, but is intended to guide your school district's 24/7 tobacco-free policy development. School districts must provide a copy of the district policy, which must include proof of passage. This policy should be uploaded in the Upload File section. The district wellness policy must include all required elements to meet federal and state laws, as well as other elements to include policy enhancements. School districts may use the sample school district wellness policy language that is found in the Healthy Incentive Grant for School Districts Resource Guide. The sample policy was developed to align with federal and state laws, including additional policy enhancement options. It's important to note that utilizing this sample policy is not a guarantee for award, but is intended to guide your school district's wellness policy development. School districts must provide a copy of the district's policy, which must include proof of passage. This policy should be uploaded in the Upload Files section. Please ensure that you are providing the correct information and documentation in the correct location. For example, I would only submit the school district's 24/7 tobacco-free policy in the school district's 24/7 tobacco-free policy section. Incorrect or missing information will result in an ineligible application. More details for each section can be found in the resource guide. Once you have completed this tab, you are ready for the Funding Amount Requested tab. Click Save and Next. This tab is where you will enter your funding request. Funds may be used at multiple school sites within the school district as long as all school sites have access to the finished project. If your proposed project and funding request from the Healthy Incentive Grant is related to a larger project, please include that information here. School districts with 2,000 or less students may request up to $50,000, and those with more than 2,000 students may request up to $80,000. Applicants are required to provide budget justification documentation for the amount being requested. The budget justification documentation must include bids and/or cost estimates for items or supplies that will be required to complete the project. It's important to note that all bids and/or cost estimates should be solicited within 3 months prior to application submission. Your documentation of bids and/or cost estimates must support the full requested budget amount. You will also be required to submit the budget justification form that is found in the Healthy Incentive Grant for School Districts Resource Guide. This form is where you will enter what you plan on purchasing with these funds by line item. Scrolling to the bottom of the page, you will see the Periods for Proposed Operating Budget section. This is where you will enter the total amount requested, including TSET funds requested, and any matching funds that will be used to complete the final project. To begin entering this information, click on the radio button next to the budget period or fiscal year you are applying in, and select Add Budget Details at the bottom of the page. Once the page refreshes, you can then enter in the budget information, then click Next at the bottom of the page. After the page refreshes and you see the amounts entered for the budget period, click Save and Next to proceed to the Project Plan and Timeline tab. On this tab, you are required to give your project a name, provide a brief description of the project, and a detailed description of how the grant funds will be utilized, as well as a timeline for when the project will start, any major milestones, and the expected completion date. You will also need to upload a project plan utilizing the project plan template found in the resource guide. Remember, the funds awarded must be spent and the project complete within 1 year of award. After you have completed this tab, click Save and Next to move on to the Acknowledgements tab. Any objections to the terms and conditions found in Appendix A of the Resource Guide should be disclosed at this point in the application. If there are no objections, respond N/A. Next, you will click the checkbox to acknowledge that if your organization is an awarded recipient, you will work with TSET's Strategic Communication Division to publicly promote TSET as a funder of the project. This would include display of signage provided by TSET at no cost to the grantee. Once you have completed the required fields above, click Save at the bottom of the page. After you have completed the application, please go back through each tab and verify that all the information and documentation that you have provided is in the correct place. If you have successfully completed all of the tabs, the circle next to each tab will be green. If the circles are not green, go back through those tabs and verify that the information you entered was saved. You may need to re-enter the information and be sure to click on the Save button at the bottom of the page. If you are ready to submit, Click Submit, and a banner will appear that your application has been submitted. You will also receive an email that your application has been received. At any point during the application open period, you can choose the Save for Later button, and it will keep everything you've worked on up until that point. Just be sure to click the Save and Next button along the way so that your information is saved. It's important to note that the TSET Healthy Incentive Grant for school districts funds eligible applicants on a first-come, first-served basis. Once you submit your application, it will be placed in the queue for funding evaluation. If you return to your application and make any changes after original submission, your application will be moved to the bottom of the queue based on the latest submission time/date stamp. Thank you for your interest in TSET's Healthy Incentive Grants.